Cameras have been a part of our lives to capture memories, but are they on a verge of extinction? Let's see. Today we are the owners of latest smartphones having all updated features of the camera. Let's go back to the previous generation cameras and its evolution till now. The DSLRs were the cameras which combined the optics and the mechanisms of single lens reflex camera with a digital image sensor. Canon EF, that is electrical focus, was a manual focus 35mm single lens reflex camera produced by Canon in 1970. The EF was built as an electronic version of Canon's top-of-the-line f1 camera. That's why it has rugged construction and a metal body. This camera contained a silicon photocell light emitter which measured light in a central emphasis metering pattern. It had a variable aperture AE mode where operator would control both the shutter speed and aperture. It had mount lenses spanned from 15mm fisheye to 300mm telephoto. It had a unique focal plane shutter. All long exposure shots were electronically controlled. You can see sample images captured by this camera. Premier PC500 was a 1980 era camera for 35mm film. It has a built-in flash, manual film, advanced and rewind, a choice of 100 and 400 film speeds, a built-in lens cover and a 38mm glass lens made in Japan. In the 90s, Canon came up with SM111N, which was a fully automatic Japanese 35mm camera. It was a high motor drive camera with built-in flash, auto film load and with auto wind power rewind. Pre-focused f3.5.3 element 35mm glass lens, LED low light flash warning indicator. It worked on 2 pencil batteries. You can see the transition from black and white cameras to some colors cameras. Also, Kodak developed EC300, which was a point and shoot 35mm film. This was a nice compact camera by Kodak, who were leaders in 35mm film. It has a built-in flash and work on pencil batteries. It was one of the best cameras in the 90s to take easy shots on the go. The Olympus C370 was one of the cameras when cameras moved from 35mm film to digital storage. It represented a stunning price and made an ideal camera for those dipping a first toe into digital photography. Launched in the early 2000s, it was one of the compact cameras which had 4x zoom and 3.2 megapixel camera. It had a great curvy body design and had a simple mode dial. One can record movies at 320 by 240 pixels. It also had 4 scene program modes supported by a special help function which describes the selected mode on the LCD monitor. Its internal memory was 12 MB, whereas it can fit in memory card up to 512 MB. It had an optical viewfinder. Data can be extracted by connecting to the AV out and USB. It ran on 2 alkaline batteries. Its weight was 140 grams. Alongside, the mobile companies started incorporating cameras in their mobile phones. The first mobile phone, JSH04, with rear-facing camera was released in 2000 by Sharp Corporation in Japan. Similarly, other cellular companies started using the same idea. Cameras became more compact. Their functions were slowly turning to lesser physical buttons. This is Sony DSCW180 with specs of 12.1 megapixels camera, steady shot and smile detection shutter. It had 3x optical zoom and a 2.7-inch LCD. During this period, cameras came up with lithium-ion batteries instead of pencil cells. These batteries could be recharged with the help of external charger. Memory cards also became more efficient and carried more storage. Olympus launched E500 which was a 8 megapixel digital single lens reflex camera in 2005 for professional photography. It had a full frame transfer Kodak imaging chip. It had an interchangeable lens. It had ISO range of 50 to 3200. It had a compact flash or XD card storage. It also had different focus modes like single shot autofocus, continuous or manual autofocus. It had various exposure modes like portrait, landscape, night mode, manual aperture priority. It had different metering modes. You can change the shutter speed. During this period around 2007, Sony developed a point and shoot camera, the DSC H9, after its DSC H2 and DSC H5. These were special super zoom cameras with 15x zoom and HDTV output. Sony increased pixel count to 8 megapixels. It had high maximum ISO and various scene modes, especially the night shot infrared mode. It had an articulated tilt-up screen. It also had an improved focus system, faster performance, and a new remote control. Android mobile operating system came into picture in 2007. This gave boost to the mobile performance in multitasking. Companies immensely started working on developing cameras in their phones. Samsung introduced the Galaxy camera in 2012, which was an Android-based point and zoom device. It had a 21x optical zoom lens with resolution of 16 megapixels and ISO range of 100 to 3200. Storage increased to 8 GB. It had a built-in flash and a fully touchscreen 4.8-inch LCD having 1280 by 720 pixels. It had a battery of 1650 mAh. In 2014, Sony launched a bigger zoom camera, HX400V, with a 50x optical zoom. It had a 20.4 megapixel XMOS CMOS sensor with a Bayans X engine for superb detail and noise reduction. Optical steady shot and intelligent active mode was introduced. It also had a tilt TFT LCD and a finder viewfinder switch. It had various scenic modes. It had various ISO modes, white balance modes, different shutter speeds, and aperture for better photography. Other companies then thought, why not make zoom lens separate? Then they came up with dual cameras in phone, where first was a main camera and second was a telephoto lens. But there was one more thing the companies thought, why not introduce wide angle lens to capture bigger picture? They then started introducing third lens for that. Companies were getting better and better in this sector. One of the biggest leaders in the market, Huawei, launched P30 Pro, which had 50x zoom in it. Also, the camera started having DSLR functions for better photography. Cameras became a big marketing point for the mobile companies instead of the phone itself. The term megapixel has become a competitive factor. It started off with VGA camera to now offering 108 megapixel. Also, the resolution of phones have now gone to 4K and 8K. The percentage of people buying compact and point and shoot cameras started decreasing as mobile phones itself had so many features. But the DSLRs still are continuing for long range photography. For example, the wildlife, action, cinematography and sports. Also, small action cameras like GoPro are still in demand. At a macro level, the transition of cameras to phone with cameras can be seen. Current generation are being directly introduced to multitasking phones having camera integrated with the internet, where you can view and share pictures from different parts of the world. It will be despairing to see future generations not enjoy the beauty of capturing the world by camera and further developing the picture. Rather, it has become more digitized. Thank you, and let me know in the comments below what you think.